In studio, Tim Julian, the former mayor of Utica.
Thanks for keeping me pertinent. It's 8 years after the fact. Nice.
It's all right. And we were talking yesterday as I was explaining where we were and our new facility was.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure that this property here, the old Soul Harbor Church.
Harbor Church, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure this was brought up in your administration at some point.
Really, the facility, the former Souls Harbor facility, interestingly, a couple of years back, there was this was Souls Harbor Church.
Right here on our facility, right at the front of our property.
Yes. And the pastor for Souls Harbor Church was an individual. His name was Pastor Smelly. Nice enough guy. That was his name, was Pastor Smelly. And he had this southern accent. And in meeting him, again, nice guy. And we wanted to talk to him because the city at the time, we had finished up the marina. We were trying to move forward on that. And this would have been a great parcel to add to the marina parcel for, increased parking and for other things. We could have had more of a park-like atmosphere here. So we called them in. We said, we have some interest in selling your site and you're buying your site, and are you interested or not? And they said, well, we've talked about it and we listened to it. And he said, I said, well, do you have a number in mind that you'd be interested in? He turns to his associate that's with him. He goes, do you got that piece of paper with you, brother? And he goes, yeah, I do have it with me. And this other gentleman pulls this piece of paper out of his pocket, his inside jacket pocket. And you're expecting to see like some pro forma sheet. You're expecting to see like some, profit and loss figures, utility costs, things like that. And he unfolds it, one unfold, two unfolds, three unfolds, and there it is. It's just $2.2 million. That's what's written on there.
Wow.
And I look at it and I go, that's a heck of a number.
Good luck.
that's a little too rich for our blood.
Lord help you.
The old school meeting, it just kind of slid it
it
across the table.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, let me just go to the vault.
Yeah. Throw a bag of cash on the table.
So needless to say, the city was not a purchaser that day.
But a unique place that church was.
It was a unique place.
Beth was telling me it was kind of peopled with a bunch of characters in there, too.
I did have the ability to go in there a few times and be part of that as part of the fabric of the city. And, it was unique. They had a great style of worship. It was very highly energized. And, it was a very, very small congregation. And, I don't even know if they're anywhere at all anymore, if they've gone anywhere or gone by the wayside. But, they had the group of believers there. And it was people trying to do the right thing on Sunday mornings. And you can't hate anyone for that, that's for sure.
And then further down the road, at one point, the talk was to make this a women's alcohol rehab center. And I know that that was also thrown under the bus.
That did not come under Vermont Dust.
Right.
So
No,
that was
that.
probably after the fact. Yeah. And look, this is a great piece of parcel. You're bordered by the canal on one side, the Hunk River on the other side. It would be a shame to have a something like that here. I think
we got options. We can jump in either one of them.
You can jump in either one of them, or you can just. If someone says something you don't like, you can roll them out and back and roll them right into the river.
Tim, the mayoral fights are coming up here in Utica and in Rome, and there's a lot of big topics on the table. The downtown hospital is one of them. Where do you come down on that issue?
I'm not a big fan of the downtown hospital right now, and probably for a lot of reasons. First off, this seems to really be the transparency has not been apparent in this particular issue. It seems as though in this particular the whole hospital issue has not been vetted in front of the public and talked about. And interestingly, I don't think many people in the city of Utica government know much about the hospital yet either, which if I were the mayor at this particular time, I would be kicking and screaming saying, hey, we should know about this. You're talking about, hey, we're going to do you this great favor by moving this hospital into your downtown, yet you're not telling us about it. I think I have a major problem with that. I think that if you look at the last couple of years, whether it's the arterial project, which took probably 70-plus properties off the city of Utica tax rolls in order for the greater good of the community. Neda County just took a good handful of properties off the tax rolls for the greater good of parking around the county office building. Now you're going to have this hospital coming in, and some may say that these buildings are already off the tax rolls because they've been foreclosed upon and things like that. But there's other buildings down there and other businesses down there that are on the tax rolls that are being paid that will have to be relocated. And I've seen some of these relocation processes where the business is up and they do leave the city, and I think that that's not what you want to see. You don't want to force businesses out of the area. It's downtown. It has been ripened for development for a long time. Like we joked about earlier when I came on, I've been out of office 8 years now. 8 years in the life of a city is but a bat of an eye. When you look at it going back, 15 and 20 years, some of the things that were set on the table back then,
right,
are starting to pay fruits and dividends to what's going on now. Whether it's the Harbor Point, which I have that plan sitting in a box in my basement. That's been going on for the better part of forever. Everything you see around Bag Square West, that was a plan that Governor Pataki and I called the Gateway Plan, that went from the auditorium over to North Genesee Street and filled in all that property there,
knocking down the old
Washington Courts and Gold Bass buildings, during the Hope 6 project, and purchasing Cosmopolitan Center, moving them out. At the time when I was leaving office, I was trying to purchase the Tartan Textile building next door, and we were chastised. We were chastised because we were burned through all this urban renewal money. Where did all the urban renewal money go? You had a $600,000 surplus. Well, all that property, you see some of this building going on right now, we bought with urban renewal money. And this opened up these lands that were able to do that. And, the planning process is something that, unfortunately, because you have to go through so many different processes, it doesn't happen overnight. Right. And I think that if you're going to tell a business owner, hey, come on down to downtown Utica, we can do this, we can make something great happen. But if we have a better use for it, or we think a better use for it, we're going to take your property, whether you want to leave or not. I think that's the wrong message to send, especially right now when people are looking at downtown. And there's been such great development down there in the Ocean Blue and the Pezzolinellas. I mean, they should name a street after them and have a ticker tape parade for these guys that do what they did with that building. Smaller places like whether it's the Bite Bakery, whether it's Utica Bread, Taylor and the Cook, Utica Coffee Roasting, all these places that are popping up. You've got, I think it's Bella Regina on Genesee Street, Ancora still stands strong, Swifties, all these places that people are seeing downtown as an opportunity now, as a development opportunity. And then you have your venerable businesses that have been there a long time, whether it's your Pizza Classics, whether it's your Florentines and your Cafe Caruso's along the side streets.
Which are all starting to spruce up as well.
All starting to spruce up. Yep. I mean, rising tide lifts all boats, and I think that that's what you're seeing now. And to say that we're going to put this hospital here, I think really, I think not only will it dead end some streets, but I think it'll dead end some development in downtown Utica. My bigger concern is that due to the fact that Edge is really kind of driving this process, what's going to go on with the buildings that are there now? And they talk about St. Elizabeth's Hospital. St. Elizabeth's Hospital is particularly worrisome to me because it is sitting inside a desirable residential neighborhood.
Sure is.
And, I saw the mayor one day, and I saw he had one of his associates with him from City Hall. And they said, well, there's a lot of interest in the building. I said, well, like who? Well, a lot of interest. Well, a lot of interest doesn't sate my desire to know who, as a property owner in South Utica and as a taxpayer in the city of Utica. Is it going to be more low to moderate income housing? Because we really don't need that.
Across the street from one of the best schools we have in the city.
Across the street from one of the best, yeah. And as we look at these things, this is a concern. Councilman Bochero put out a plan to put a gondola going from Harbor Point.
We talked about that quite a bit on the show.
You got your pass
downtown
yet?
Utica. What's that?
You got your pass yet? Your frequent flyer pass?
And people said, oh, that's crazy. It's lunacy. I don't think so. I don't think it is lunacy. I think it's actually kind of a neat idea because, what's the Eiffel Tower mean? And I'm not trying to compare this gondola to the Eiffel Tower, but, why can't Utica have something? And people say, well, Utica's a poor city and we can't put money on. But do we want to be known as a poor city?
Right. Don't think that way.
Don't think that way. I mean,
self-fulfilling prophecy sometimes.
We are building lofts in downtown Utica that are going for substantial money.
Yes.
And while we're doing that, why do we still want to wear this label that we're poor? Yeah, we're a poor city. We're also proud of the fact that you can be a poor city and people can live here for the type of money that you make. I mean, the average income here is low, but you can still live here, make a living, and have a family here.